MacDonald, I'm a native of the Isle. Was born among old Erin's bogs when I was but a child. My father fought in '98 for liberty so dear. He fell upon old Vinegar Hill like an Irish volunteer. Then raise the harp of Erin, boys, the flag we all revere. We'll fight and fall beneath its folds like Irish volunteers. Then raise the harp of Erin, boys, the flag we all revere. We'll fight and fall beneath its folds like Irish volunteers. When I was driven from my home by an oppressor's hand, I cut my sticks and greased me brogues and came o'er to this land. I found a home and many friends and some that I love dear. The jabbers, I'll stick to them like bricks and an Irish volunteer. Then fill your glasses up, me boys, and drink a hearty cheer to the land of our adoption and the Irish volunteers. Then fill your glasses up, me boys, and drink a hearty cheer to the land of our adoption and the Irish volunteers. Now when the traitors in the south commenced a warlike raid, I quickly then laid down my hog to the devil with my spade. To a recruiting office then I went that happened to be near, and joined the good old 69th like an Irish volunteer. Then fill the ranks and march away, no traitors do we fear. We'll drive them all to blazes, says the Irish volunteer. Then fill the ranks and march away, no traitors do we fear. We'll drive them all to blazes, says the Irish volunteer. Now when the Prince of Wales came over here and made a hubbub, oh, everybody turned out, you know, in gold and tinsel too. But then the good old 69th didn't like these lords or peers. They wouldn't give a damn for kings, the Irish volunteers. We love the land of liberty, its laws we will revere. But the devil taken nobility, says the Irish volunteer. We love the land of liberty, its laws we will revere. But the devil taken nobility, says the Irish volunteer. Now if the traitors in the south should ever cross our roads, we'll drive them to the devil as St. Patrick did the toads. We'll give them all short nooses that come just below the ears, made strong and good of Irish hemp by Irish volunteers. Then here's to brave McClellan, whom the army now reveres. He'll lead us on to victory, the Irish volunteers. Then here's to brave McClellan, whom the army now reveres. He'll lead us on to victory, the Irish volunteers. Now fill your glasses up, my boys, a toast come drink with me. May Erin's harp and the starry flag united ever be. May traitors quake and rebels shake and tremble in their fears, when next they meet the Yankee boys and Irish volunteers. God bless the name of Washington, that name this land reveres. Success to Maher and Nugent and their Irish volunteers. God bless the name of Washington, that name this land reveres. Success to Maher and Nugent and their Irish volunteers.
Fáilte agus 𝐿𝐷 Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Kathleen O'Neill, along with Bruce Smith, inviting you to 2 hours of Irish music, news, and announcement on Detroit Irish Radio at crbradio.com on this Memorial Day weekend, or Memorial Weekend. We are doing a live show. I am back in town, and I want to take a moment and thank all of you that who over the course of the many years have prayed for good health for myself and most recently Dan. We finally got to celebrate some of those big birthdays and anniversaries and went on a wonderful Viking cruise starting off in Barcelona, going along the coast of Spain and Portugal, even a stop in Dublin and Liverpool to Iceland. So I'm very refreshed, and I thank all of you that have been tuning in weekly, and in particular, very appreciative of Bruce Smith here, keeping it all together. Thank you, Bruce.
She thinks I keep it together.
Well, what I heard, it sounded good. And to Angela Ryan for doing the last couple of shows, and for even poor Keegan, who has shared news, GA news, and hoping to hear from him again today. So this is the Memorial Weekend, and we are going to be playing songs in memory of those loved ones that lost their lives in defending our country during wars and hoping for peace in the future. If you have information to share, you can always text us at 313-942-0159, or you can Facebook Mary Bonjourno, another one I want to thank for getting the shows posted and sharing all the different news that's happening in the Irish community. If you want to go to Detroit Irish Radio Facebook page, send a message. Mary will definitely get it to us as well. And in the course of the week, you can always email us at DetroitIrishRadio@gmail.com. Just remember that these shows can be listened to at your convenience. You can certainly listen while they're being aired live or later on at a number of locations. CRBradio.com, Studio 2 archives the show, as well as they're posted on Detroit Irish Radio Facebook. The Gaelic League of Detroit has a radio page where they're also posted. And thanks to Bruce, we also have the channel on YouTube. So many, many ways to listen to this program. And I'm sharing that with you now so you can let your family members and friends know that next Sunday we are going to be giving out tickets to the Motor City Irish Fest, which is happening on June 9th, 10th, and 11th. So we have some tickets to give away for a free entry to that festival, which is fabulous, out in Livonia, and I'll be sharing more about what's happening there. But let your family members and friends know that next week they'll have to listen to the live show and call in to get those tickets. With that, let's move on to what's happening here in the Detroit area and beyond now. We started off with the Irish Volunteer by David Kincaid. We're now going to go and have a listen to Cathal Dunn with God Bless the USA, and followed up with John McDermott's The U.S. Armed Force Medley.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time to stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
right. We are off to a great start today with our first phone call, and we're welcoming our good friend Porrick Egan. Porrick, how are you doing? And thanks for calling in today, of all days.
Yeah, well, it's great to be calling in on Memorial Day, Kathleen, and actually as I'm listening to that Armed Forces melody, I wasn't born in the United States, but we have to have a lot of pride when we hear that melody. Well, first of all, welcome back, Kathleen. You were off for a few weeks. Detroit Irish radio wasn't the same without you.
Oh, thanks. I hope that was a good thing. But no, I'm very appreciative that I can leave and people are still hanging in there and doing wonderful things, including yourself and Bruce and Angela and Mary Bonjourno and Sheila too. So thanks to all of you. What kind of news do you have?
Well, it's going to be hard for me to get going again now that I kind of took a break there. But anyhow, there's been many games played since we last spoke, and in football, all 4 provincial finalists have been decided. In Connacht, the winners were Galway. In Munster, it was Kerry. The victors were Derry and Ulster, and I suppose somewhat predictably, Dublin were the winners in Leinster. Now, traditionally, these 4 teams would contest the All-Ireland semi-finals, but in recent times, the GAA has created a playoff series and bringing the top-ranked 16 teams into a round-robin competition where the winners go forward to the All-Ireland quarter-final. What the GAA are trying to do is enhance the opportunities for other counties to play more games and create second-chance opportunities for some of these teams to play a higher caliber of football. So these qualifier games have been going on the last few weekends, and we're seeing teams that normally would not get the chance to compete against each other. They're experiencing that opportunity. It's unlikely that a weaker team will emerge playing the All-Ireland final, but it'll expose footballers to an elite level and give their counties a sense of where they need to be to aim the following year. In hurling, the games have been played at a fever pitch. It seems the skill level exceeds the brilliance of each previous year, and these young emerging stars provide exceptional examples of this hurling, which is, we just have to call it an iconic sport. The elite hurling counties are all playing so well that this year the All-Ireland competition seems wide open, depending on which of them can reach top form as the crucial games approach. And if you have that little clip there, Kathleen, of last week, it's between Clare and Cork, it'll give your listeners an idea of the excitement of a hurling game.
Well, take a listen.
O'Leary up to Patrick Horgan. They could do with a goal. They trail by 3. Horgan! Oh, and he's got it! Patrick Horgan has got it, and the sides are level again.
Yeah, Kyle over McInerney, who's struggling slightly. I would say he's gone inside in the full back line now. You see him there slow on the turn. 𝐿𝐴 won't be overly happy. He dived past it. Can't move your feet. He thought Horgan was going to fire it to the bottom right-hand corner as he comes in. Didn't hit it.
Late goal just seconds after coming on. He'll be on for Cork very shortly. That is David McInerney. The Clare crowd behind him love this. And he's come to life. He just lets it off. That half pass was right on the edge, wasn't it? Shane Barrett. Barrett in a tricky position. Dermot Ryan there with them. Shane Kingston, they've given him space. They let him shoot and they're level. Into the space. Defended by Rory Hayes. This has had absolutely everything. 𝐈𝐴 Now let's see. One last chance for Dermot Ryan. It's on its way. It's on its way from Dermot Ryan, and he's got it. Unbelievable.
Score. Oh my goodness.
Well, come at the hour and all that stuff, but he's been all. Clare 2:22. Cork 3:18.
All right.
Kathleen, well, that was the County Clare, which we call the Banner County, playing Cork, which we call the Leesiders, and with the Banner winning by the last puck of the game. I think Clare, this year, Clare hurling team are putting their neighbours Tipperary and Limerick on notice that they're serious contenders for the Liam McCarthy Cup. Locally, our Detroit Wolftones, that's our local men's team, will commence their season in Pittsburgh next Saturday. So that's an away game. But the following, on June 24th, they will actually be home versus Cincinnati. Then in July 8th, they'll be playing Cleveland. And July 15th, they'll be home to Buffalo. So, again, next week, this coming weekend, they're away. But between now and the June 24th, I'll give you some details of where the home game has been played, what time it's at, and so on.
Sounds good. And is that team pretty much formed, or would they still welcome others to join, at least for the practices, or how's that going?
They're always looking for young men that want to join. Of course, they have a website, Detroit Wolf Tones, and anyone out there, any young athletes that would like to learn a great game, they're very welcome to come out. Very
good.
And then, of course, the Detroit Harps, and we're talking about Detroit Harps, that's the young kids from about 5 to 17. They're going to launch their practices next week on June 11th in Flodden Park in Canton. Of course, Detroit Harps Facebook page is a good place to go if anyone would like some information on that. They'll also be doing a little bit of a Gaelic football exhibition at the Motor City Festival on June 10th. So anyone that might want their kids to get involved and they want to see what the game is like, if they come to the Motor City Festival, they'll have a little bit of an exhibition there. And I can just tell you, for parents and grandparents and family members, this is an excellent way to introduce your children to a friendly, family-oriented sport. Kids are introduced to the rules in an easygoing, encouraging manner. And personally, I can testify to the enjoyment of the sport. 50 years ago, I was introduced to the game, and all these years later, I can say that many of the people who I played with and played against are still friends. So what a great opportunity for some young kids, young people to learn a new sport and get into the social aspect of it as well.
Absolutely. That is so true with all the different aspects of the Irish cultures. The young people that learn to dance are still friends with dancers and their families. And it's nice. The ones that got into the GAA sports have become friends for life. So that's cool. And now their children are. So appreciate that news. And once again, they can go to the websites of Detroit Wolf Tones or the Detroit Harps. And I know that I received a notice that, and I believe it's true with both groups, they would love new players and accept and welcome whether they're a seasoned player or a new beginning player. All skill levels are welcome.
Yeah,
so that's
absolutely
nice.
There's absolutely no experience necessary. And of course, I should say it's open to boys and girls. It's really it's about getting together, enjoying the game, and learning the game, and continuing, of course, at a more competitive level in the future if you're interested. Well, Kathleen, on a personal note, I want to welcome my sister and husband who are visiting here this week from Tubbercurry, County Sligo. Lena and Eamon McGuinness are here enjoying the beautiful Memorial Week sunshine, and happy to have them. And I might all say hello to their daughter Aoife and her husband Cameron. If you might remember back in August, Aoife and Cameron got married up north, and so Aoife's parents are visiting the happy couple this weekend. So that's about it for me, Kathleen, for this week, except for some music.
Well, we welcome both your sister and husband, and you have lots of good celebrations going on, being it's Memorial Weekend and maybe an extended weekend. But you also have sons that are twins that are celebrating birthdays too. So enjoy all your family gatherings that are happening while your sister is here. Very nice. And so as far as music, what have you selected this week, Porg?
Well, you probably know a couple of weeks ago, Kathleen, Sean Keane, the legendary fiddle player who played with the Chieftains, passed away, and kind of the end of an era, I suppose. So anyhow, I just picked a tune it's an instrumental, kind of almost in the theme of a memorial, I suppose. So yeah, Sean Keane and the Chieftains, and we'll be back next week, Kathleen. There's actually going to be some big games coming up next weekend, so I'll have more news and clips for you, I hope.
Very good. Well, thanks so very much, Pork, and glad to be back and talking with you again soon. Yep. Take care. And bye-bye. And with that, we will hear The Morning Dew by the Chieftains, and this is pretty much featuring and highlighting the late Sean Keane. All right. I'm happy to hear from our friend Pork Egan. Once again, if you have news to share, you can certainly send us a message at 313-942-0159, and we will get you on if you are available to talk to us.
Stop whispering.
All right, Bruce, I did mention that we are featuring songs and remembering Memorial Day, and that is the day intended to honor those individuals that have lost their lives while serving in the United States Armed Forces. The original name came from the practicing of decorating graves. It was called Decoration Day, and decorating graves with wreaths of flowers and flags. May 5th, 1868, Decoration Day was set as a time for everyone in the United States to take time to decorate the graves of the war dead. The first Decoration Day took place on May 30th, 1868, and then New York was the first state to designate Memorial Day as a legal holiday in 1873. And by the end of the 19th century, many of the states had declared it a legal holiday. After World War I, Memorial Day became a time to honor the dead of all of the American wars, and this was the beginning of it being observed as a national holiday. Congress passed the Uniform Monday Holiday Act in 1971. At this time, Memorial Day was set as the last Monday in May. Every year, a ceremony takes place at Arlington National Cemetery. The president or vice president lays a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier, and a small American flag is placed on each grave. This year, President Biden will lay the wreath at the ceremony. And it was mentioned by some, Memorial Day doesn't have to be all doom and gloom, but the reason we have this holiday weekend is one that we should all remember. In the midst of your parties and barbecues and travel, family fun and games, we need to take a moment to remember why we are here. Remember the real sacrifice of those who fought and died in support of our country, of a country wherever that is. It's mentioned to stop what you're doing at 3 p.m. to take the time and have a moment of silence, and then go out and have some fun. For we are here because of those that have given the ultimate sacrifice of their lives. With this, let's go into a couple songs. The first one is by Donald McGeoch with The Old Man's Song. Tragically, there is so many wars, and wars continue, and we need to help make a change in that. And then follow it with Frank Edgley with For Those That Went Before.
At the turning of the century, I was a boy of 5. My father went off to fight the Boers, he never came back alive. My mother was left to bring us up, no charity she'd seek. So she washed and scrubbed and scraped along on 7 and 6 a week. When I was 12, I left the school, I had to find a job. With growing kids, my mother was glad of the extra couple of bob. I know that longer schooling would have stood me in good stead, but you can't afford refinements when you're struggling for your bread. And when the Great War came along, I didn't hesitate. I took the Royal Shilling and went off to do me bit. I fought in mud and tears and blood 3 years or thereabouts. Then I copped some gas in Flanders and got invalided out. And when the war was over and we'd finished with the Hun, we got back into civvies and we thought the fighting done. We'd won the right to live in peace, we never had such luck, for soon we found we had to fight for the right to go to work. In 26 the general strike found me out on the street. Though I'd a wife and kids by then and the needs I had to meet, a brave new world was coming and the brotherhood of man. And when the strike was over, we were back where we began. We struggled through the 30s, out of work now and again. We saw the black shirts marching and the things they did in Spain. I brought me kids up decent, I taught them wrong from right. But Hitler was the lad who came and taught them how to fight. My daughter was a land girl, she got married to a Yank. They gave me son a gun for stopping one of Rommel's tanks. He was wounded just before the end, he convalesced in Rome. He married an IT nurse and never bothered to come home. My daughter writes me once a week a cheerful little note about the coloured telly and the other things they've got. She has a son, a likely lad, he's nearly 21. She tells me now they've called him up to fight in Vietnam. I'm living on the pension now, it doesn't go too far. Not much to show for a life that seems like one long bloody war. When you think of all the wasted lives, it makes you want to cry. Well, I don't know how to change things, but by Christ we'll have to try.
I just want to remind you about the Fraternal Order of United Irishmen and the Palatine Fathers that are holding a golf outing this coming Saturday, June 3rd. This, once again, will support the great work of the Irish Palatine priests, and they will welcome golfers. I spoke to Father Brendan this morning. Do you still need golfers? He says, we can always use golfers. So if you're a little closer to the date and now you know that you're available this coming Saturday, June 3rd, why not join this group of wonderful golfers for a good cause? They are golfing at the Inkster Valley Golf Club that's located at 2150 Middle Belt in Inkster. Check-in is at 8 a.m. with golfing started at 9. The cost is $100 per golfer, or foursome is $400. They also had sponsorship of holes. I don't know if that's still available, but that's $100. Any questions you have can be directed to 734-285-2966. I know that's the Palatine House, or 313-382-4545. That might be Dunleavy's, because if you're interested, you can pay in person at Dunleavy's Irish Pub, located in Allen Park on Allen Road, or go to the Palatine Fathers in Wyandotte. Once again, they're still welcoming golfers. If you can, next Saturday, or this coming Saturday, June 3rd, they'll be out at the Inkster Valley Golf Club. And perhaps I know there's a dinner afterwards or a meal afterwards. Those that are not golfing might be able to enjoy the company of the golfers for a meal afterwards. Let's see what else is happening. I think that's the only thing happening this coming weekend on the 3rd, as well as McSpillin entertaining here at the Gaelic League Irish American Club from 8 to 11 o'clock. So keep that in mind. We'll be sharing different information of what's happening as we go through this program. And one of the things is birthdays. So say La Bracha Hana to those celebrating birthdays this week, including today is Erin Carlisle, celebrates her birthday along with the twins, Ronan and Vincent Egan, also Agnes Gowdy and Jim Murphy. Very happy birthday to all of you. Tomorrow we have our good friend Stephen Maloney with Maloney Talent Marble, celebrates his birthday. He is the husband of Sheila, who does the show periodically. On Tuesday is Kathleen, and I'm going to say Hurley, but I know Kathleen is married, so I don't have her married name with me, but very happy birthday to you, Kathleen. On Wednesday is Sophia Davis and Anne McCracken's birthday. Then we're into June. Coming up on Friday, June 2nd, is Roxanne LaPuma, a member of the Gaelic League and former officer of the Gaelic League. Neve O'Connell celebrates her birthday, and Dan Jerricks. On Saturday, June 3rd, is Joe Bradley's birthday. So very happy birthday to all of you. And to those whose names we don't have, you can certainly send us names of those with birthdays that would like to be announced on the air through the various means, website, Facebook, or through our phone number. And also want to take time and say gorges to those that are celebrating anniversaries. And today is my niece Amy, along with her husband Mark Niprelli, celebrating 12 years of marriage. So congratulations to those two as well. Wishing all of you a great weekend and good health and many more years of happiness. Next up, we have a couple of songs here. This is for those that lost their lives during the Vietnam War. The first song is by John Egan, The Wall, and then we'll follow it up with Norman Payne's The Blazing Star of Athenry, one that was from Ireland that died in the Vietnam War.
On a drizzly DC morning in the middle of July, my brother brought me downtown to the mall, past the watchful eyes of Lincoln, neath the weeping summer sky, crossed the street to the little green and visited the wall. I remember I was nervous then, I guess a little scared, 'cause I wasn't sure how I'd react at all. To see the names of the servicemen who've been recorded there, who heard the final roll call and assembled at the wall. And every name's a father or a husband or a son, or a daughter or a brother, or a cousin to someone, or a name might be a classmate or a friend you may recall. Nearly 60,000 fallen names still waiting at the wall. The wall is many granite sections, solid, cold and black. A visitor may pause to touch a name, and it seems that in the dark reflection hands were reaching back, as if to greet and touch and hold the hands of those who came. Someone might stop to leave a rose, a letter or a poem, or a message to a young man loved and lost, and to show they still remember those who never made it home, who built the wall so long and tall and paid the bitter cost. And every name's a father or a husband or a son, or a daughter or a brother, or a cousin to someone, or a name might be a classmate or a friend you may recall. Nearly 60,000 fallen names still waiting at the wall. As I watch the lines of people that walk by in slow parade, I read a different story in each face, and I couldn't help but wonder at this pilgrimage we made, what common bond, if any, might have brought us to this place. There were tourists and the curious, and some veterans who came, still others saw an answer to it all. But the one thing that I'm sure of is we left not quite the same, with our memories alive and well, still waiting at the wall. And every name's a father or a husband or a son, or a daughter or a brother, or a cousin to someone, or a name might be a classmate or a friend you may recall. Nearly 60,000 fallen names still waiting at the wall. Nearly 60,000 fallen names still waiting at the wall.
He was just an Irish soldier fighting for the USA, and he loved a girl he called the blazing star of Athenry. Deep in the jungles of Vietnam, a US soldier lay, a sniper's bullet from the brush his young life stole away. In dying breath and whispered tones, I heard him proudly say, I am just an Irish soldier fighting for the USA. For the little while he lingered, he remembered those so dear, an Irish girl so beautiful, with eyes so blue and clear. He relived again the memories of the day he said goodbye to the sweetheart that he called the blazing star of Athenry. Oh, may I see the dawning morn of the day this fight will end, and the arms of peace of everyone throughout this world extend. But these thoughts I have to banish and go on to fight and die like this soldier boy who loved the blazing star of Athenry. Then he held a faded photograph and beads of rosary. These gifts he proudly cherished and he sadly gave to me. Then in thought he drifted far away on this foreign land to die, and in fancy too he sighed the blazing star of
Well, that was just a song about one Irishman that fought in a war for the United States, but we know that there's been many service people, male and female, that have given their lives for our freedom. Let's see, what else is happening on June 7th, Wednesday night, will be the monthly 𝐷IMA, or Detroit Irish Music Association members, meeting here at the Gaelic League for their monthly session from 6:30 to about 9. I don't have confirmation. Of course, I've been out of town, out of the country, to find out exactly what Sundays 𝐷IMA will be able to have their Sunday sessions, but we're hoping that that will happen in June, and perhaps as soon as this coming Sunday, or following Sunday, June 4th. I know the 11th we're all going to be out at the Motor City Irish Festival, but I will let you know. It will be on our Facebook page. Mary Bongiorno will let you know. And we will also make sure that 𝐷IMA gets it out on their Facebook. But for sure, on June 7th, come on down and enjoy the music of these wonderful, talented musicians, or join them. All are welcome. Skill level doesn't matter either. It's a chance to get to learn a new song or share a song. Once again, check out their website, DetroitIrishMusic.org, to find out more information, but it does go from 6:30 till 9 o'clock, the first Wednesday of the month at the Gaelic League, located at 2068 Michigan Avenue in Corktown, Detroit. The very next day here in Corktown, Detroit, Most Holy Trinity Parish will be having their 64th annual Smelt Fry. That is on June 8th from 6 to 9 p.m., being held at Nemo's Bar, located at 1384 Michigan Avenue. It's $45 per person and includes all the smelt, burgers, and beer and pop that you could want. The proceeds benefits Most Holy Trinity Outreach Ministries, and it is being sponsored by Nemo's. Tickets can be gotten, or more information, at MHT Detroit, that's Most Holy Trinity Detroit, mhtdetroit.org/events. Let's go into a couple more songs here. This time, let's send it out to those that are in need of prayers at this time. Aber Padre Sanadini, Atá 10, to the following people: that are on our list, and of course those that aren't but are on your own, let's keep them in mind as well. We have Ivan Anderson, Mary Jo Began, Laura Bond, Judy and Tom Bruning, Margaret Carducci, Bill Carney, Nick Cimitero, John Couture, Kitty Durbin, Brian Dunleavy, John Finnerty, Bridie Flynn, Ed Foley, Betty Gowdy, Mary Gold, Joanne Haley, David Aaron Keem, Jamie Jones, Shelley Lees, Kevin Lussick, Angela McGuire, Patty Martin, Eden Mashburn, Rick McMurray, Richard McNichols, Sean Moore, Bridget Murray, Ann Purcell, Marianne Quinn, Betty McCabe Rizzo, Norm Root, Chris Scanlon, Mary Sheehy, Megan Tierney, Sarah Turner, Lexton Williams, Joan Wisely, Kevin Wisely, and your family members and friends that may be in need of prayers at this time. We also want to include the medical staffs that helped to make, or hopefully make a good recovery, including the doctors, nurses, and your own family members as well. Next up, we have the Wolftones and Derek Warfield with When This Dreadful War Is Ended, and then followed up with Inda Riley with Johnny Has Gone for a Soldier. And then after we hear from them, we're going to hear all about the Motor City Irish Fest, because both of those will be performing there.
When this dreadful war is ended, I will come again to you. Tell me, dearest, ere we sever, tell me you'll be true. True to other scenes I wander, still your memory pure and bright. In my heart will ever linger, shining with undying light. Do not weep, love, sit beside me, whisper gentle words of cheer. Be not mournful now, my darling, let me kiss away each tear. The glory field of battle, your sweet voice will nerve my hand. And when weary, sad and wounded, your fair image nearly stand. In my visions like some angel, you will turn my grief to bliss. On my pale and fevered forehead, I will often feel your kiss. Our dear native land's in danger, and we calmly bide our time, when this dreadful war is ended, and the bells of peace will chime. Dreadful war is ended soon, I hope that day will come. Love's own star will lead my footsteps safely back to you and home. Oh, what joy again to meet you when the threatening storm is past, and the flag our foes have planted flies in shreds upon the blast. Farewell, best and dearest, do not let your heart repine. Though the sky may now be gloomy, soon the sun will brightly shine.
Here I sit on Buttermilk Hill,
Who can blame me crying my fill? And every tear would turn a mill. My Johnny is gone for a soldier. With fife and drum he marched away. He would not heed what I did say. He'll not be back for many's a day. My Johnny is gone for a soldier. His shoo, shoo, shoo-room. Shooga sucker agus shoo-ga-cune. Shooga darish agus 𝐿𝙚𝙗𝙗. 𝙎𝙬𝙗𝙧𝙗 to my warnings long. I'll dye my dress, I'll dye it red. Through the streets I'll beg for bread. Since the lad I love from me is fled. Johnny has gone for a soldier. I'll sell my flax and my spinning wheel to buy my love a sword of steel, so it in battle he might wield. Johnny has gone for a soldier. Is shoo, shoo, shoo-room. Shooga-sucker agus shoo-ga-cune. Shooga-darish agus 𝐿𝙚𝙗𝙗. 𝙎𝙬𝙗𝙧𝙗 to my warnings long. And me, oh my, I loved him so. Broke my heart to see him go. And only time will heal my woe. Johnny is gone for a soldier. And I wish in vain. I wish my love would come home again. But alas, my John in battle is slain. Johnny has gone for a soldier. Shoo, shoo, shoo-room. Shooga-sucker agus shoo-ga-cune. Shooga-darish agus 𝐿𝙚𝙗𝙗. 𝙎𝙬𝙗𝙧𝙗 to my warnings long. 𝙎𝙬𝙗𝙧 to my warnings long. 𝙎𝙬𝙗𝙧 to my warnings long.
Okay, I said we were going to talk about Motor City Irish Fest. I am so excited to be a part of this. Bruce and I will be broadcasting live from the Greenmead Heritage Center and in Livonia on Sunday, June 11th. But the festival starts Friday and runs through Sunday. And there are plenty of acts. I have so many different pieces of paper here, things that have been shared. So best bet for you is to go to motorcityirishfest.com, which is the website. But what's been mentioned that this is going to be the best yet. There's over 20 bands, 7 schools of Irish dance, a cultural tent, a children's tent, ring of steel, great Irish artisans, and much more. This year, the headliners are Derek Warfield and the Young Wolftones and the 𝐿𝙚𝙗𝙗𝙧𝙗. Derek Warfield started the Wolf Tones 60 years ago, and finally he is going to be playing at a festival here in Detroit area, the Motor City Irish Festival, and I think everyone's excited to have that happen. But we also want to thank in advance all of the various entertainers that are going to be a part of the festival that are our local groups, and there are plenty of them, and the dancers as well. So check out their Facebook posts, check out the website. Just other little comments is that on Friday night, June 8th, there's free admission for 1 hour. That's from 5 to 6 p.m. You need to be in the gate by 6 p.m., but you can get in free on Friday night. Parking is $5 per vehicle. That doesn't change whether it's Friday night or Saturday or Sunday. And also want to make mention, the honored co-chair of the 2023 Motor City Irish Fest is our own good friend, Joan O'Halloran. Joan has been so very active in many of the Irish community activities and member of many organizations. She is the mother of Karen, Gerry, and Scott, and the grandmother of some beautiful granddaughters, Katie, Erin, Megan, Elizabeth, and Anna. Joan is a member of the Ladies Ancient Order of Hibernian Rose Kennedy Division. She's a Gaelic League member. She's president of the Irish Bar Owners Association, the wife of the late 𝐾𝐞𝐭𝐫𝐤𝐿, and of recent in 2022, our good friend Tommy O'Halloran. So come on out on Friday night where they'll have the opening ceremony, and Joan O'Halloran will be recognized as she so deservingly deserves. As I mentioned, there are 7 dance schools. That includes the Ardon Academy of Irish Dance, the McCartney Irish School, Michigan Irish Dance Academy, Motor City Irish Dancers, the O'Hare School of Irish Dance, O'Kennedy, Holland, and Dance School, and Shannon Irish Dance Academy. Also a little tidbit, Jamrocks, which is part of the group that Kevin Murphy is part of, they have played at every festival since its inception. So they'll be playing again this year on Sunday, June 11th. There is a wee tent, and this is a fun place. Actually, Bruce and I stopped there. Was it last year, Bruce, that we ended up going after we finished with this show, because Endon Riley is over there and entertaining at different times, and there's different musicians that have come in there, but they have crafts and face painting and balloon animals all day. There's a free photo booth on Saturday from 3 to 7 p.m. The only request is all children must be accompanied by an adult. Doesn't mean it's a place to just drop off kids. No, but they have lots of fun things there. And as far as music, there are 2 music tents. There's the Hibernian tent and there's the Dunleavy tent. Music starts, looks like in both places, somewhere around 5 o'clock on Friday night, and the opening ceremony is at 6:30, and the last act on is at 9:30 on Friday night. So let's say 5 till about 11. Saturday, music starts at noon and runs until the last act on is at 10 o'clock. And then on Sunday, the festival starts with a mass at noon, and there's music. The last act on is actually Derek Warfield at 6 o'clock. So Derek is on Friday night at 8 o'clock, and then, it's Saturday night at 8 o'clock, and Sunday at 2:30, and again at 6 o'clock. And the Gobshites looks like they're there on Friday night at 9:30 at night, and again on Saturday at 9:45. So, as I mentioned, check out the website, motorcityirishfest.com. Wonderful event, good venue. the grounds, it is grassy areas and it's a little unlevel, but it is paved all the way through, so you can pretty much get through the grounds safely. And they have plenty of vendors and food available for sale and beverages as well. So.
If you have trouble getting around, there's carts too to be able to help you out.
Right.
Like me and Kathleen, we both need it.
Well, that's because we had all the equipment, Bruce. But we did appreciate the fact that there was a cart that came by and took care of us. Much appreciated. So, and then if you're out there on Sunday, we set up right outside the office, right on the main road. You can hear music from both different tents of where we are at. And we will be doing the show from 1 to 3, so stop by and say hello.
We're right by the ATM machine.
Oh, is that there too?
Yeah, it was out there in front.
Okay. I believe you, I didn't
No, we weren't taking any money out, no.
I didn't use it, so I didn't know. But they accommodate you with everything. So come on out. It's a nice. Hopefully, it'll be nice like it is today, and enjoy the company of like-minded people.
Wear your sun protection.
And sunglasses, if you need it. All right, with that, how about we go into a couple more songs here. This time, we're remembering one of the musicians that used to live here in the area, Rachel Schmidt, wrote a song about her brother who served in the, I don't know if it was Iraq or Afghanistan, but actually he died. His name was Michael. And the song is Not in Vain. And then we'll follow it with Janet Arvidsson with Meditation for Absent Friends. I know plenty of people know of a loved one that died fighting one of the wars.
We were always fighting, as all siblings do. But even as children I looked up to you. And then one day I noticed a difference in you as you marched off to war. And you will never know just how much you've touched my soul. And every time I speak your name, you were born to be a soldier that you had found. I'd never heard your mother crying so loud. I'd never seen your father stand quite so proud as you marched off to war. And you will never know just how much you've touched their souls. And every time they speak your name, gave you a daughter and stood by your side. The first time you held her, you broke down and cried. And then you marched back to war. And you will never know just how much you've touched her soul. And every time she speaks your name, your soldiers into Iraq. You carried them safely, protected their backs. You marched in so bravely, such a leader as that. But you never marched back. much you've touched their souls. And every time they speak your name, Sergeant, your life was not in vain. You will never know. You will never know. You will never know just how much you touch our souls every time we speak your name. Michael, your life was not in vain. And Michael, it'll never be the same.
Okay, I want to take a moment and thank those that are tuned in today, listening and sharing, and a big hello to Stacy Skinner. Glad to be back, Stacy, and thank you for all the sharing you've been doing, along with Mark Hurley and Stephen Maloney and Sheila with Maloney Tile and Marble. And once again, a very happy birthday to you, Stephen. Daniel Martin, Jerry Cullen, the Knights of Equity, Court 6, Marcus O'Toole in Massachusetts, Bob Moriarty. Also learned that he just recently went on a Mediterranean cruise. Hope yours was as enjoyable as mine was. And also to the MichiganIrish.com, which does a fabulous job of sharing our news as well. And as I had mentioned, I have all these different flyers and information about the Motor City Irish Festival. Just going to fill you in on a few more little things that I forgot to mention. I did mention that the Wolftones, or Derek Warfield and the Young Wolftones and the 𝐿𝙚𝙗𝙧𝙗 are the featured entertainment. The 𝙬𝙗𝙧 are from Boston and have been playing Irish punk music for over 21 years. So this should be a great hit with our younger patrons and maybe some of us old folks as well. We also have the favorites, as I mentioned, of our local groups, Blackthorn, the Codgers, Crossbow, and I shouldn't start naming because I will be missing a few of those wonderful groups that come out and perform at all the different events, including last week at the St. Pat's Festival, which I also missed, but hopefully went well.
And neither one of us won any prizes.
Oh, is that why I didn't get a phone call?
I guess not.
No ticket winning? Oh, that's all right. Also, some of the other things that are happening at the Motor City Irish Festival, there will be a whiskey tent. I think I mentioned, but the Ring of Steel, the stunt group, will be performing. Also, there is the Motor City Irish Fest .001 Run Fun Race. That's going to happen on June 10th. 4:30 check-in. That big race starts at 5 o'clock. And I believe at the end of it, I shouldn't say this, but it would be for me, you might get a donut. Yeah, there'll be icy cold beer and delicious sugary snack. That's more than worth the run, isn't it?
Oh, sure.
Says to make sure you wear comfy shoes. All of it's just, good fun. It's a family affair. Come on out, be supportive, and thanks to the whole committee, including Kevin Murphy, who was one of the initial organizers, and Charlie French, and the many others that make this such a fun thing happening here in the Detroit area, happening on June 9th, 10th, and 11th. With that, let's go back into some more music here. This time up, we have John McDermott with One Small Star. Yes, you can look up in the sky and you can think of those loved ones that lost their lives. And then a song from the Wolftones, the Song of Liberty, what we're all looking for.
When I need to feel you near me, I stand in this quiet place with a silver light of countless stars falling on my face. Though they all burn so brightly, somehow it comforts me to know that some who burn the brightest died an eternity ago. But your light still shines. It's one small star to guide me and to help me hold back the dark. Your light still shining in my heart. I'm learning how to live without you, and I never thought I could. And even how to smile again, I never thought I would. And to cherish your heart's memories that can bring you back to life. Some caress me gently, and some cut me like a knife. But your light still shines. It's one small star to guide me and it helps me hold back the dark. Your light still shining in my heart. Can your soul be out there somewhere beyond the infinity of time? I guess you've found some answers now. I'll have to wait for mine till my light joins with yours one day. We'll shine through time and space, and one day fall on a distant page upon some stranger's face. But your light still shines. It's one small star to guide me, and it helps me hold back the dark. Your light still shining in my heart. Your light still shining in my
Stand beside me for peace and for liberty, for freedom's denied to many nations, with sad emotions for borders that run through these lands, and the hope that with justice and peace they will be free. Free the earth of weapons of war, of death and destruction. Show the strong deny the weak, when it's justice we seek for all. With sad emotions for peoples of these troubled lands, and the hope that all nations at war will soon find peace. For united we stand, linking our hands throughout this world. Our great chains of love will not be broken. We are singing this song, hoping our hearts cannot be wrong, with the love for all struggling peoples. For I hate to see children crying. We must stop all their sorrow and dying. Stand beside me for peace and for liberty, with the hope that all nations
that war will soon find peace. It's our wish that all lands will find justice with peace. We will sing you this song just for you, liberty, liberty, liberty.
We mentioned the Fooey's and Palatine's golf outing happening this coming Saturday, June 3rd, out at the Inkster Golf Course. Well, the following Saturday, the Ancient of Hibernians Father Solanus Casey Division is hosting their 22nd annual golf outing. They call it the Irish Open. This is happening at Fern Hill Golf Club on Clinton River Road in Clinton Township. Registration starts at 7 a.m. and the game itself at 8 a.m. So if you're interested and able to, and it's on that side of town that you're living on, the cost is $100 in advance, or at the door $120. There are whole sponsorships available by May 31st, so you still have time. And the proceeds go to the Children's Cancer Charity. Number to call would be, let's see, Patrick O'Brien is 586-243-2662. And I don't know if they have a website or not. So, or if information about the whole sponsorship, you can email J.M. Klein, CLYNE, at Comcast.net. Once again, that's happening out in Clinton Township on June 10th. All are welcome as well. Next up, we have a song from World War I, the Fury singing the Green Fields of France, and then follow it with the Coleman Country five flautists with a selection.
Well, how do you do, young Willie McBride? Do you mind if I sit here down by your graveside and rest for a while, neath the warm summer sun? I've been walking all day and I'm nearly done. I see by your gravestone you are only 19 when you joined the Great Fallen in 1916. I hope you died well and I hope you died clean. Our young Willie McBride, was it slow and obscene? Did he beat the drums slowly? Did he play the fife slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? And did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Did you leave a wife or a sweetheart behind? In some faithful heart is your memory enshrined? Although you died back in 1916, in that faithful heart are you forever 19? Or are you a stranger without even a name, enclosed and forever behind the glass frame, in an old photograph, torn, battered and stained, and faded to yellow in the brown leather frame? Did he beat the drums slowly? Did he play the fife slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down. Did the band play the last post and chorus? And did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? The sun, now it shines on the green fields of France. There's a warm summer breeze, it makes the red poppies dance. And look how the sun shines from under the clouds. There's no gas, no barbed wire, there's no gunfiring now. But here in this graveyard, it's still no man's land. The countless white crosses stand mute in the sand. To man's blind indifference to his fellow man, to a whole generation that were butchered and damned. Did he beat the drum slowly? Did he play the fife slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? And did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Ah, young Willie McBride, I can't help wonder why do those that lie here know why did they die? And did they believe when they answered the call? Did they really believe that this war would end wars? Well, the sorrow, the suffering, the glory, the pain, the killing and dying were all done in vain. For young Willie McBride, it all happened again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they play the fife slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they play the fife slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? And did the pipes play the flowers of the forest?
We want to take a moment and thank our many sponsors. Appreciate all the support that we receive through organizations and businesses, including Portagegan and Emerald Plumbing, Gaelic League Irish American Club, United Irish Societies, Detroit Metro and Emerald Police Society, Fraternal Order of United Irishmen, Brian Dunleavy and Dunleavy's Irish Pub in Allen Park, Stephen Maloney and Maloney Tile in Marble, Friendly Sons of St. Patrick's, the Motor City Irish Fest, Knights of Equity Court 6 and Daughters of Erin, Ancient Order of Hibernians Stephen Walsh and Blessed Solanus Casey divisions, Ardon Academy of Irish Dance and Kitty's Ceilidh, Ladies Ancient Order of Hibernians Elizabeth Fagan, Catherine McCauley, Ethel Kennedy and Rose Kennedy divisions, Kevin and Shelley Murphy and Murphy's Restaurant in Retford, Father Brendan McCarrick and Irish Palatine Fathers, J.G. Irwin and EXP Realty, and Mike Carey Music Company. Appreciate those support. Just a little reminder, we do have the Motor City Irish Fest. We have tickets available that we will be giving away next Sunday, so you need to listen in so you can get those tickets because we will be asking people to call in. If you don't, that's okay too. Just make sure that you get on out to that festival, which is located at 20501 Newburgh Road in Livonia at the historic Greenmead Park. That's located between 7 and 8 Mile Road on or off of Newburgh Road. The dates are once again Friday, June 9th from 5 to 11 p.m., Saturday, June 10th from 12 noon to 11 p.m., and Sunday from noon until 7 p.m. The tickets, children 12 and under, are free. Ages 13 to 17-year-olds are $5 each, and those are available at the gate only. Adults are $10 in advance until June 1st. And if you don't get those advance tickets, you might have a chance of getting a complimentary ticket if you call in next Sunday during the Detroit Irish Radio Show, or otherwise it's $15 at the gate. And once again, that free admission on Friday, June 10th, is from 5 to 6 p.m. only. Regardless, there's parking. It's $5 per car. It's not included in the admission. With that, let's go talk about peace. A little peace on earth would help. Certainly, so many lives have been lost during these various wars, and we are remembering them this weekend, and in particular tomorrow, Memorial Day. So we're going to hear the U2 singing the song about peace on earth, and then follow it with my favorite peace song, and that is by Christy Moore, The Least We Can Do.
Sick of sorrow, sick of the pain, sick of hearing again and again that there's gonna be peace on earth. Where I grew up, trees, where there was, we tear them down and use them on our enemies. They say that what you mock will surely overtake you, and
become a monster, so the monster will not break you. And it's already gone too far. You said that if you go in hard, you won't get hurt. Jesus, can you take the time to throw a drowning man a line? Peace on earth. Tell the ones who hear no sound, whose sons are living in the ground, peace on earth. No, who's the wise? No one cries like a mother cries for peace on earth. She never got to say goodbye, to see the color in his eyes. Now he's in the dirt. Peace on earth. They're reading names out over the radio. All the folks the rest of us won't get to know. Sean and Julia, Gareth, Ann and Breda, their lives are bigger than any big idea. Jesus, can you take the time to throw a drowning man a line? Peace on earth. To tell the ones who hear no sound, whose sons are living in the ground, peace on earth. Jesus, in the song you wrote, the words are sticking in my throat. Peace on earth. Hear it every Christmas time, but hope and history won't rhyme. So what's it worth? This peace on earth. Peace on earth. Peace on earth. Peace on earth.
Least we could do is make the world a better place, not just for a few, but all the human race, to end wars and quarrels, make John Lennon's dream come true, to build a new set of morals. It's the least we could do. Show some love and compassion when people are feeling low. Make it not just a fashion that may come and go. Bring an end to oppression. It imprisons the truth, and be free without expression. It's the least we could do. So follow his rainbow deep into the evening sun, and pray that its colors will together blend as one. Seek and we may find the dream he loved to pursue, a peace for all mankind. It's the least we could do. So follow his rainbow deep into the evening sun, and pray that its colors will together blend as one. Seek and we may find the dream he loved to pursue, a peace for all mankind. It's the least that we could do.
I also want to take a moment and thank the many individuals and families that have sponsored the program, and in our latest one that sponsored the program through PayPal. We do have PayPal and Venmo. Heather Lingmus, thanks Heather. We also want to thank Teresa Roddy, John Bentley, Brian and Pam Dunleavy, Michael and Eileen Berry, Patrick and Ann O'Hara, Jim and Bev Murphy, Mary Ryan, Richard McGee, Peter and Maura Dewan, Michael Klein, Bruce Smith, Michael Goddard, Bill and Kate Miller, Dennis and Mary Ellen Clark, Nora Martin, Evelyn Carney, Kathleen Gallagher, Nick and Peggy Shimatero, the Victory and Maloney families, Mary Ann Quinn, Barb Sullivan, Brian Maher, Dan and Kathleen Partika, Merle Kennedy, John and Mary Bongiorno, Dan and Kathleen O'Neill, Jennifer Kelly, Kathleen Griffin, Melva Prentice, Patricia Dillon, Gail McKnight, Kitty Heinzman, the Moriarty family, the Dewan family, Patrick Curran family, Doris McCarville, Joan O'Halloran, Patrick Kelleher, Bob and Mary Beth Munt, John and Kathleen Trainer. And ones that we remember that have died, we want to remember and thank those that have given a contribution in memory of Howard Kelly, Bob Griffin, the Rice and Ryan families, Scotty Prentice, Jimmy May, the deceased FUI members, Peter Roddy, Bill Carney, Richard McKnight, Mike Westside Red Sullivan, Joanne Gibbons, Dan and Mary Irwin and the Hughes and Irwin families, Patrick and Mary Curran, O'Kennedy, Mungie and Kennedy families, Tom O'Halloran, Father Michael Cooney, John Heinzman, Bongiorno and Dean families, Thomas and Patricia Quinn, as well as Michael and Rose Quinn, John and Kathleen Moriarty, and the other deceased Moriarty family members, and Frank and Kathleen Dewan and their children, Jim, Mary, and Frank, and granddaughter, Becca. We appreciate the support and a chance to remember those loved ones as well. Just a quick recap, a reminder that we are part of the Green Wave of the Cave, crbradio.com. There is music or shows on Saturday afternoon with the Emerald Isle Express with Matt O'Donnell. On Sunday we had Johnny Costello this morning with the Rebel Rooster. Bruce and myself are here with Detroit Irish Radio, and tomorrow you can listen to Patrick Johnson on the Irish Music Cafe. Check that all out. And just a reminder, the thing that's happening this week, we are closed at the Gaelic League tomorrow with Memorial Day, but on Saturday the Fuis and Palatines are having a golf outing, and they are also looking for more golfers, and McSpillin will be here entertaining at the league from 8 to 11 on Saturday night. With that, we are going to have to thank you for, oh, yeah, I can keep talking? Bruce is going to let me keep talking. Well, I do hope we will have DEMA here on Wednesday for their monthly first Wednesday of the month at the Gaelic League. I do hope that we can get them to be here on this coming Sunday. I have to work on it. It's not confirmed, but hopefully they will be here. With that, I went to say goodbye, and he's going to, we're back in the swing of it, aren't we? Thank you for tuning into Detroit Irish Radio. Thanks to all of you that listen and share, and for Mary Bongiorno getting that on Facebook, much appreciated. And for our friend Pork Egan sharing the GA news and music as well, as always. I appreciate it. Thanks to Bruce. Bruce, you're just a gem. We're so happy that you're
The taskmaster.
that you're able to do all of this. Keep all that are in poor health in your prayers. Enjoy Memorial Weekend, Memorial Day. Keep in mind it's remembering those that lost their lives, saving our country. Until next week, be kind to yourself, be kinders. Have a great week. We are going to go out with the Taps and then a song, Remember Me by Phil Coulter. �〨 𝐕𝐿𝐴 𝐕𝐿𝐴 𝐎𝐿𝐴